Welcome to the Fresh Patch Podcast, where we talk about everything from dog training to potty talk. It's time to save your rugs and get real. This episode is brought to you by Fresh Patch, featured on Shark Tank, Oprah, and The Today Show. And here are your hosts, Drew and Gabe.
Welcome, everybody, to the Potty Talk podcast. If you're new here, my name is Drew, the marketing director for Fresh Patch, here with my awesome co-host.
My name is Gabe. I am the partnerships coordinator, and we have a very amazing guest today. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Hey everyone, it's Maddie from Maddie Rudder.
Sweet. So yeah, thanks for joining. Check her out on social media. We'll have her handles on the screen for you guys, for all the viewers, all the listeners. We'll give her a chance to shout out her socials, but for us as well, smash that subscribe button wherever you're listening to this podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, and then go ahead and follow at Fresh Patch on all socials. Check out freshpatch.com as well. We really appreciate it. So if you want to plug in your handle as well, go for it. The floor is yours.
Yes. My Boy Rudder on Instagram and TikTok. Haven't made it over to YouTube yet.
Cool. So we'll just dive in, start asking some questions, get to know you and Rudder, and let the viewers and listeners, get to know you a little bit more too. So, Gabe, you want to start us off?
Tell us a little bit about yourself and Rudder, and like what caused you to start the Instagram page, My Boy Rudder.
I'm Maddie. I'm 35. I live in Brooklyn. Recently moved here from Chicago. Unlike different types of content creators and influencers, I live a very normal life. I still have a 9 to 5 job. I travel a lot with friends. A lot of this stuff that I don't show on my platforms I'm doing in the background because I like to keep it more centered around my life with dogs. But everything for me really happened by mistake. I made an Instagram for Rudder when he was a puppy, and the intention was to make it his baby book. So I would log all of these memories and have something to look back on. But as the following grew and people saw how I was doing with him and feeding him and training him, I just started to get more and more questions about it. So during COVID, I made a conscious decision to start posting more educational information, not so much just me and my life with my dog. And that's when it really, really took off. And I had a service dog puppy I was raising at the time, and I was training dogs professionally. So I had access to a lot of dogs to make a lot of content. And that's really when it started to accelerate.
We actually came across your page because you wanted to try Fresh Patch for the first time. And that was because Rudder had the TPLLO surgery. So tell us a little bit about that. How was the recovery process, and how did Fresh Patch help you out during that time?
So Rudder had TPLO surgery the first week of January, and in Chicago, it was very icy, snowy, slippery outside. So I had a patio out my back door. Recovery is they're supposed to be walking very limited amounts, and especially in the early weeks, you have to be very mindful that they don't slip or splay or end up in a situation where they end up overcompensating. So I thought of Fresh Patch as something that I could put right out my back door, would give him sturdy footing and allow him to go very minimal distances to relieve himself. So that was my impetus for it. And then, like I said, I ended up moving to Brooklyn, and I don't have a little backyard anymore. I just have my balcony. So it was actually the perfect way to transition him to our move, which worked out perfectly. But it was super, super helpful in those early stages of his recovery, which ended up lasting about 4 months. It's pretty long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, my I think I had told you previously, but my dog actually had that surgery a couple years ago. And it was before I was working here, so I didn't even know Fresh Patch was a thing. And man, that, like you were saying, that recovery process, it's like you got to be so on top of it. You got to watch them all the time, make sure they're not jumping on stuff. So really wish I had known
Yeah.
about it back then, because I would have saved me a lot of time and pain dealing with that.
Yes, and just the mental, emotional stress of not messing anything up.
Oh my
So it
gosh.
made it so much easier.
Yeah. I don't know if you're vet, because I know it can get messed up so easily, but ours, talking to us about it, was so serious. He cannot, and my dog loves jumping on beds and couches, and he's he cannot do any of that for 3 months. And it was we were so stressed out about it, but honestly, it was so worth it because he's doing so well now. He's so mobile and all of that. So
Yes, I'm glad you also had a good experience with it. I don't
Yes.
regret it at all, but I should make a video about this now that I'm talking about it. It was a lot more
Yes.
stressful than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing for sure, but glad we could glad we found each other, so you could have some type
Yes.
of potty service for for Rudder that but yeah, that transition process like seemed to just work out great. That's really cool, going from and that's a lot of customers and people listening that they do transfer from, a situation. That's actually how this, company was founded. Founder moved from a house to a condo. So didn't have,
Oh,
where a dog was used to. I don't know if you know the background story a little bit, but
no, I didn't know that.
okay, yeah,
That's
I saw
crazy.
your eyes light up a little bit. So, but yeah, pretty much same
Yeah.
situation. Moved from LA to Florida, I think Miami, and they had a little yard here in LA, and then when they got to Miami, it was high rise living, and dog didn't was not cooperating, so that's how Fresh Patch was born. So
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah, really cool.
Yeah, so moving on here, something that we deal with a lot is just because of the type of product that Fresh Patch is. People see like the patch of grass and they're like, "Oh, you're not walking your dog. You're not doing this." They don't really like understand like how it's supposed to be used. So we
Yeah.
we know that you've been hit with some of those comments in the past, and you're definitely not the type of person to shy away from people having an opinion. But how do you
Mhm.
handle those kinds of comments?
It's funny because typically by the time I see them, other people who follow me have kind of like swooped in and
Yes.
already like taken care of it for me. Um, so I don't have to do too much like defense mechanisms myself or like rationalizing. But the way I've taken it is like you guys have seen, just replying to those comments with videos explaining how I use it, which has changed, like from a TPLO to moving and using it as a way to advocate for like actually walking and exercising your dog. So it kind of ends up working in the reverse of people's intention of criticizing me for not doing so. When I show that he does have such a fulfilled life that going out to potty isn't a big, important, exciting part of his day. It's probably one of the most boring parts of his day,
Yes.
actually. So it's a good. I try to use the criticisms as a way to create like a platform for greater education and understanding, and as a way to kind of like further my message.
Yeah, no, that's so awesome. And you mentioned like you have so many supporters and they see your content. That's one that I see a lot is like you don't
Mm-hmm.
watch her content if you think that she is
Yeah.
abusing Rudder in any way.
Yeah.
Like so that's
Yeah.
really
Yes.
cool to see.
Yeah, they go to battle for you, which is nice,
Yes.
like it helps out the stress from people bombarding your comments and stuff. So really cool.
Yes, I'm very grateful for that. I have a lot of good people in my community.
Hmm. That's awesome. And they're dog lovers, which is great.
Always
Coming through.
helps.
Oh yeah.
Cool. We got my dog trying to
Yeah, he's
come in. This is usually his spot when we're not
Oh,
on
nice.
Zoom because we're in the chairs off to the side, and oh, now he's digging the rug, making a spot and everything. So good.
I
Come
love
here. You
that.
could come right here and frame. No, there you
no,
go. He's laying down.
he's laying down.
Cool. So, moving on, getting down the list. So kind of playing off that on the contrary, you have many supporters, right? So, what has been the best part about the community you have built online through social media? All those people going to battle for you. What's the best part about, building a community?
As an adult, it's always more difficult to make friends, period. But especially when you have a more niche interest, such as dogs, but not just dogs, like a particular way of living and interacting and belief, methodology or philosophies around dogs. It's like hard to find people as adults that you can connect with that share that same niche, passion. And so being able to connect with people like me is just so much fun. I see it in my comments every day. I see it in my DMs. It really makes me feel like, I mean, it sounds so dramatic, but like that I'm just like not alone, because I have so many
Mhm.
wonderful, amazing friends and I love them dearly and deeply, but very few of them are like me and like these types of things that I'd like to do with my life. And a lot of those relationships that have started out as silly DMs have grown into real full-fledged in-person friendships. Like two of my closest friends in Brooklyn are gals that I met through Instagram DMs.
That's
So,
so awesome.
and those are like true, amazing friendships that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. And it's just so fun. And, we hang out and we don't just talk about our dogs and what we post on the internet. Like, we're like real life friends who have found this bonding point, and that's just amazing to me. I love that genuinely so, so much.
That's so cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's such like a storybook kind of thing, like the type of thing that you wouldn't never expect to like happen to yourself. Um, and that's awesome too.
Yeah, totally.
I feel like Rudder has, so many owners, from people on the internet that like watch him and care for him and all that.
That's the best way. Yes, that's one of the best ways I've phrased it, because we run into people on the street pretty frequently and
Yeah,
they're like, I feel like I know him. Like, I feel like he's also they're like, I love him. And I'm like,
that's so
you do?
funny.
And they're like, yes. I'm like, that's so crazy. They're like, it's like meeting my dog for the first time. And I'm like,
Aw.
what? But he's and I'm always happy to share him. I love that. But it is so funny because I post these videos online and I kind of go about my life, and like I said, I
Yeah,
have a normal 9 to 5 job, all of these things, so I don't really think about people thinking about me, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
So when it happens and I hear it, I'm like, oh wow, that's wild. I'm like a part of your life.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
The power of social media
Yeah.
nowadays. You know what I mean? It is crazy. It reminds me of like see videos all the time. You should honestly make, if they're willing to be in a video like this, but make a video. I feel like I see like little kids all the time when they've been playing video games with someone for like years and
Yes.
years and years, and then they finally get to meet them in person, and it's just like there's no hesitation with like it's just the same. They just continue the same thing. I feel like that'd be a cool piece of content. It's like something like I met him online, and
Literally.
and now it's second owner of Rudder,
Yeah.
type of thing. So that'd be cool.
Yeah,
People, I feel like
like I'm going to these girls' weddings,
Wow.
yeah,
so
exactly. There you
it,
go. Just
it's like, yeah, it's cool.
it
I
is
love
That's
it.
hilarious.
crazy.
That's so cool to hear that like Rudder's like a little celebrity.
Hmm.
He's got a
Yeah, he like literally prances down the street and everyone's like, "Oh, that's such a handsome dog." And I'm like, "Yeah, he knows." Like,
oh man.
That's so awesome. He loves
yeah.
the hype. He
Funny.
loves the hype.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. He's got an ego about him for
Yeah.
sure.
That's so great.
Awesome. So, you mentioned earlier how like you're becoming a social media like influencer kind of happened by accident. It sounds like it was very
Mhm.
much out of like passion and just kind of sharing, things that you were interested in, like cared about a lot. What advice would you give someone who's like looking to become an influencer, whether it's like a pet influencer or whatever? What advice would you give to them?
I would tell them to, one, be genuine, because that people can read, disingenuous personas in person online. So if you're really serious about growing a following, you need to be yourself, you need to be genuine. And couple that with taking an angle of content that you're passionate about and you genuinely like making, because otherwise there's not going to be much longevity there. So, like, my platform is definitely more of an educational platform, because that's the type of content that I like to make. Like, I've been working with dogs since I was such a young child, and it's kind of like cathartic and helpful for me to like get it all out of my head and put it somewhere.
Yeah.
um, I'm not the type of content creator that makes the humorous or the cutesy or the inspirational content. Like, that's just not my vibe. And if I tried to do that or mimic it, it just would be so far from who I am as a person. And I don't think it would have landed as organically as what I make has for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I think too, like you were saying, it's so organic and people can really feel the passion. Like they can feel how much like you care for Rudder and like how you're trying to like give him the best life. And so yeah, that's great advice.
Hmm. Yeah, I look at it too as like, yeah, you're not
Yes.
and like every other influencer, like you said, the very, cutesy videos or trends or whatever. It's just like you're here for what you believe in and care about, and like you're just straight to the point, honest, and yeah, people resonate to that like really well compared to, like you said, people can read it a mile away when you're fake or, just doing it to try to make money or views or whatever, you know what I mean? Versus like, no, I'm trying to educate people and or like that baby diary, like you said, for for Rudder, like just show him
I
off and
know.
and there he is again. Welcome back,
Yeah.
Rudder.
Mr. Rudder.
Well, what what's interesting about it is because when I started posting the more educational content, I was like, oh, this is like when people would ask me, why do you like doing that back then, 5 years ago? My answer was, I really enjoy being an advocate for dogs and
Yeah.
sharing the knowledge that I have that newer dog owners, because this was COVID time. So many people had new dogs and they were struggling. But it's pivoted kind of 180 that because now I get so many comments and DMs and run into people on the street and they say, thank you for your content. Like it's helped my dog, but it's helped me. Like it's made being a dog owner so much less stressful. Like I have answers. My dog had behavior issues. I'm finding solutions and resources for that. And so now when people ask me that questions, I say I do it for the people because I know the stress of living with an animal that I don't understand. I don't know how to fulfill. I don't understand why our relationship isn't working. And that is an exhausting way to live. So if I can help people live better with their dogs, that's my goal.
That's awesome.
It's so reassuring too to other people that are, watching. It makes them, I don't know, it would make me feel like comfortable that, there is an outlet that you can always refer to, like you know what I mean? So that's really cool.
Yeah. It's really cool like working here and just seeing like not just you but like kind of the pet space as a whole on social media. Like there's such a big community and everyone's trying to help each other out and like it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, I love it. The dog owner community on social media. It has its toxic sides, but
Yes, I
there's
was going to
also
say, we can't
so
forget
many
about,
positives.
yeah, can't forget about the crazies in the
Yeah.
comments, but also, yeah, or the
Yeah.
people, yeah, there's just some crazies out there, but
Absolutely.
but yeah,
Absolutely.
There's
super cool.
always something.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this community is awesome. It's fun to work with people like you too, it's just like working with dogs is fun. Like I said, we get to bring our dogs to the office and stuff, so it's always just a good time, and educating people
Love
on what,
that.
better things for their pets. So,
Oh yeah.
um, cool. So, we know you recently launched a dog supplement brand called Buddy. And well,
Mhm.
congratulations, by the way.
Yes.
What
Thank you.
inspired you to start that?
Literally what I just said, really, because
Yeah.
it's literally like it combines when it comes to dogs, it combines like both of my passions of wanting to better the health and wellness of dogs, being a more proactive dog owner, but it's really difficult to do. I've been very lucky that because I grew up in the dog space, I always had a lot of guidance and people that I can look to and vet med professionals that I deeply trust and know and have relationships with. But for somebody just starting out at age 27 with their first dog, it's so complicated. And I work in marketing professionally, so I firsthand know like how marketing can really muddle that space. And it's I really empathize with people. There's a lot of like manipulation in a way that can happen, and I hate to see people wasting their hard-earned money on marketing gimmicks. So Buddy to me is like that perfect combination of I created a product that I'm so proud of how it's sourced, how it's made, the ingredients, everything about it, but it's so easy and it helps dog owners make one decision that they can be proactive about their dog's health. There's no gimmicks, easy to use, easy to understand. So it's like the perfect blend of everything I've been trying to do with my platforms, which is why I'm very proud of it, but I also have so much deep passion for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I
Mhm.
mean, it's important to be like passionate about those kinds of things and like, think like care about putting out something that, like you would give to Rudder, and I feel like that's definitely like shown.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of made it for myself in a way because
Yeah.
it's exactly what I was always seeking to buy. And for, I guess I should have given some context for people listening. Buddy is a 10-in-1 functional meal topper. It's made with 23 active ingredients, no fillers. So it's a powder. And it's never treated with heat. So the efficacy is amazing. The palatability is amazing, and there's no fillers like in soft chews that you get. So it's a really innovative product that works, and it solved my own issues of somebody who is on the go. I travel a lot. Rudder goes to dog sitters a lot. I don't like packing 5 different jars, having to label, give this one with this meal, blah, blah. It's just one packet once a day. It's so easy. It's so straightforward. It's decluttered so much of my life in owning a dog. So it's really, really cool. And I also hope it makes dog health more accessible. No matter what you feed your dog, whether you feed your dog pedigree, kibble, or the most expensive raw food, it's an easy way to boost your dog's bowl, and it makes it accessible to everybody. So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. All you dog owners out there who are looking to help your dogs be a little bit healthier, check it out. It's a really cool product, and man, dog food is such like a controversial issue these days, you know. So like
Yeah.
it's nice to, you know, have a brand like that that's trusted and it's something that you created from the ground up. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and just
Yes,
hearing you
I
right
love
now,
it. Yeah.
you're so passionate about it.
Yes.
Like everything you just said, you can see the smile on your face. You can feel the energy that, like, you know, that's definitely something that you back and stuff. So really cool. And again, congratulations. That's really really
Thank
cool. We
you.
really envy how you are able to maintain 9 to 5
It's incredible.
content, a rudder, start a business. We were talking about it, and it's like,
All the time. Like,
oh my gosh, like I mean, we wear a lot of hats here, so our days are very full every day, you know. So, but I'm sure, I'm not saying yours aren't, but it's just like that's my struggle. Like I want to create content of my dog and stuff, and I have all these ideas, and then I just get home and I'm just like,
nap time.
yeah, pretty much, and I'm just like headache from staring at a computer all day, and other responsibilities, you know, and stuff, and I'm just like, all of a sudden it's like 9, 10 o'clock, and I'm like, well, got to get some decent sleep, you know, to do this again tomorrow and everything. So, you know, shout out to you for
Yeah.
being able to manage it. And this is an off-topic question, off the list question, but is it difficult to manage sometimes, or is it just you
Yes.
create a schedule and you kind of just flow? No, it's
I've tried every which way. It's
yeah,
hard. I've tried doing the calendar blocking, day blocking. It's just like it's one of those things. So it's like I always have my 9 to 5, and that's priority for me.
yeah,
So that's that chunk. And so like what you were saying is depending how that day goes, you have good days, you have bad days. And when I have good days and I'm feeling good, I'm having a good hair day, the lighting's just right. I'm like, okay, let's like rip off and like just make like 5 videos while I'm feeling good. Because inevitably, and more often than not, if I'm being honest, there are the days where I'm just too tired. I am stressed about something else in my life, or I'm sad about something else in my life. And like, it's just hard. I mean,
hmm
my parents were visiting a couple weeks ago, and I'll be honest, like I like broke down in the kitchen crying because
Oh,
I was feeling very overwhelmed and stressed with a lot of expectations that had been put on me from all of my jobs. And I was like, but the hardest one to show up for is the social media, because
yep.
it's even harder to show up and put a smile on your face and pretend that everything's great when like you were just crying for 2 hours about how much stress it brings you, you
yeah,
know?
yep,
Yep.
So like, and you know, and other content creators, you know, this is the other reason why I've loved meeting people in this space, is because they can provide support about this stuff that like other people can't, who just don't understand it. But you know, like my friend Isabel Simon Sitz, she's a lot more open with her personal life on her platform. And so, you know, like their advice is like, well, like, how about you make a video about like sad girl dog ownership? Or here's how my dog helps me stay on track on these days that I'm feeling sad. And like, for me personally, I don't want that aspect of my life. I don't want to pretend like everything is hunky dory and my life is perfect, but I really want to keep it more about dogs than me and my personal life. Like I don't really
Yeah.
post my friends. Even when I was posting when my parents were here, I wasn't showing their faces. I'm just more private.
yeah,
Yeah.
So it's a struggle, but it also helps pull you out of those moments, because it gives you more perspective, like how
hmm
lucky I am to have this type of stress in my life. And then you can
hmm
kind of flip it on yourself. But it's hard. And on the good days, I can laugh at bad comments. On the bad days, the bad comments will make me cry. So you just like never know what you're gonna get. It's just
Yeah.
it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had those days here
Yeah.
before. We're just
Yeah.
looking at the comments and we're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
how are we gonna attack this?
Yeah.
Emails just pinging in while comments are coming in, and it's just like, oh no, yeah. And then I get home and it's like, man,
Yeah.
I really wanted to do this, but okay. So advice sounds like ride the energy wave. Like if
Yes.
if I'm motivated, just do it. If I'm not motivated, don't knock yourself. If you can't get it done that day or something.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the thing
Yeah.
that you
And
were mentioning
I'm
about like expectations and stuff is huge too, because I fall victim to that
so
all the
hard.
time of putting these insane expectations on myself,
Hmm.
and you get all stressed out and then you realize, oh wait, I'm the one putting these on myself. So yeah, it's a tough thing to
It's
deal with.
weird. Like I was trying to explain this to somebody because, they're like, well, doesn't your job stress you out? And I'm like, yes, but it's a different type of stress when it's like stress from a corporate environment and you're like, okay, I just need to get this deliverable out the door and then
Yeah.
it'll be good. Or you're like stressing about, this huge company that I work for, like their bottom line. Like it's kind of separated stress, but it's a different type of stress when it's stress put on you, like you for yourself. Like it's my
Hmm.
reputation online. It's the type of content that I want to make, that I want to feel good about, partnerships that I feel proud, businesses that I feel proud to, collaborate with and represent. It's a completely different type of stress, and that is something I'm still navigating. But I'm really proud of myself because this summer I've been telling any new brand that approaches me that I'm not taking new partnerships until the fall, and I feel
Nice.
like I
Yeah.
have some control back, I have time back, but most importantly, I just don't have that type of stress right now of
Yes.
trying to like show up and be my best. Like I don't want partnerships to flop. I don't want to be embarrassed about the content that I make, and all of that kind of like trigger stacks over time.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I can say, you're doing an incredible job. So,
Hmm.
don't
Thank
be too
you.
hard on yourself.
Yeah.
I
Um,
appreciate that, Gabe.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Cool. So, for our last question here, we ask this to all of our guests. What is your favorite slash most memorable moment with Rudder?
We did a 2 week solo road trip, uh,
Whoa.
spring or early spring of March, or no, yeah, March 2023. I got laid off from Google, which
Oh,
was like my dream job, a job I worked extremely hard to get. I was part of their first big, massive layoff that they did. And I remember I called my parents and I was like crying, because I was like, I don't care about the job. It's just that I worked so hard to get here and it got taken away from me. And I was just mad. I was so, so
mhm.
mad. And my mom was like, well, all you've been doing is like bitching and moaning about how you've been wanting to go on a road trip with Rudders. So like do it.
Oh,
Like do
that's
it.
fun.
Yeah.
And so I did it, and I planned no logistics. I would book hotels the same day, like based on where we were. And I said I was
Oh,
going to drive west until I didn't want to drive anymore. So we got out to Montana. I met a friend out there,
whoa.
turned
Wow.
around, and it was the best. Like it was great bonding time with Rudder, but most importantly, like why that's my favorite memory is because if I didn't have him, I don't think I would have ever done that. Because I
Hmm.
did it for myself, but I also did it because I was like, this will be so fun to take him to the Badlands and hiking into Wyoming. Like he's just gonna love it. So
That's
that
Yeah.
was
so
so much
fun.
motivation. It was just the freaking best. It was the best.
Yeah.
Man, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's what dogs are so great. It does bring you that extra motivation. It's like, man, like I've always wanted to do this, can't find the time or whatever the factors are. And then, unfortunately, stuff does happen. You get laid off or whatever. But like your mom said, take advantage of those bad situations, go do what you've been wanting to do. And then, yeah, it's just like your dog
Yep.
is right there by your side. It's like, wow, he's going to be even more
Oh,
stoked
yeah.
than me. My girlfriend and I did the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let's go here just for him. You know what I mean? Like we got him and he's a Swiss White Shepherd. So we're like, he's got to love the snow. So we were like
Cool.
so stoked to like take him on a snow trip and stuff. And yeah, it just brings that extra, not necessarily motivation, but excitement, to get out and see see the country, see the world if you want to. I don't know if you'll ever take Rudder
Yes.
to the country, but
That's cool. Like you're giving.
We could go to Canada.
hey,
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
Not too far. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's also when I started making like the more humorous content, like those voiceovers of him narrating. And it was because I had the mental space of not having a corporate job, like that, like I just had so much more space for creativity in my brain. But I get those comments every day of like, well, when are we going to hear from Rudder again? And I'm like, oh, life is different now.
Yeah. You just make him the excuse. Like he just doesn't, say something funny like, no, like you got to talk to his agent, or like he's pricey now, so that's
that's funny.
I like that. Yeah, he's more private now. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to save Rudder for a special
He
occasion.
knows his worth now, so it's a little harder to get him out.
Yeah.
Get an interview with Rudder.
Perfect.
Yep. Cool. Well, that about wraps it up for our questions. We really appreciate you and all the insight you've given us. Hopefully the viewers and the listeners take a lot of information from this and do as they please, and continue to follow all of us and stuff and Rudder's journeys and everything. So
Yes.
Really appreciate you, and like we said already, congratulations on everything you're doing, and you're killing it. We envy you. Like I was saying, like I wish I could run a business and the social media and my 9 to 5, so
that's
like round of applause to you. You definitely you're awesome. So
thank you guys.
And you're turning
awesome.
into motivation for me too, to like be like, well, you know what, like she's got, I'm stressed too, she's stressed too, like it's not an excuse, like come on. Yeah, like I got this. So
if I can do it, you can do it. Anyone can do it.
Exactly.
But yeah, thank you guys. Like the product is friggin' awesome. I'll never, as long as I live in an apartment with a balcony, I will have a fresh patch. So thank you for being great partners. You are great people to work with. I appreciate that deeply. And the product is freaking amazing. So if someone's listening and they've been debating it and you have a need for it, like pull the trigger. No regrets. It's awesome.
There we go. You heard it here first. So, check it out. Freshpatch.com. All you listeners, really appreciate the kind words. Thank you. And it is a pleasure working with you as well. So
one of our favorites for sure.
Yeah,
easily.
definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to ride that high for a month.
Yeah. All listeners and viewers, like we said at the beginning, smash that subscribe button on YouTube, wherever you're listening to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Buzzsprout, wherever you listen. Follow us on social media at Fresh Patch. Keep up to date with all the fun and exciting things we are posting. Go ahead and follow Maddie and Rudder as well, and we'll link all the handles at the bottom of the screen. Thanks everybody for joining. We really appreciate you, and we will catch you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Potty Time Podcast, brought to you by Fresh Patch. We hope you enjoyed the show. Give us a like or a follow, or shop all of our real grass supplies at freshpatch.com.